The murmurs began as soft chatter over a Beverly Hills brunch, but now they're thundering through every gated estate and glossy newsroom in Los Angeles. Something has spiraled dangerously out of control for Meghan Markle. Rumors are exploding that Amazon's top brass are quietly slipping away from her orbit. And this time, the blow might shatter whatever remains of her once sparkling Hollywood fairy tale. Just when everyone assumed Meghan and Harry's streak of disasters had finally cooled, another shockwave hit, one involving billionaire Jeff Bezos, his high-profile fiancée Lauren Sanchez, and a massive gamble that has detonated spectacularly in public. Insiders claim Amazon MGM Studios is urgently reconsidering their ties to the Duchess. It all erupted after the now notorious Kardashian party meltdown, an event where Meghan's frantic attempt to charm Bezos collapsed into sheer embarrassment. And now Hollywood is buzzing with one scorching question. Why would Meghan torch her bridges at Netflix while desperately chasing Amazon? The truth is more startling than anyone expected, and it exposes just how frantic the Sussexes' hunt for relevance has become. Allegedly, Meghan had been lined up for an Amazon MGM project titled Close Personal Friends, playing Brace Yourself herself. Yes, she was literally set to portray Meghan Markle. Industry whispers say Amazon's executives were intrigued at first, but as weeks went on, they began backing away, watching uneasily as she triggered one PR crisis after another. The Kardashian fiasco was meant to be her big breakthrough, a glittering opportunity to enchant Bezos and secure her spot in his media kingdom. Instead, it exploded into a humiliating scandal now nicknamed Photogate, leaving the Kardashians enraged, Bezos and Lauren mortified, and Meghan looking more toxic than ever. And the timing could not have been worse. Netflix has already iced her out. They won't even display her lifestyle products in their Netflix House retail hubs, despite earlier promises. King Lifestyle show collapsed so disastrously that Netflix refused to reveal the viewership. Season 2 didn't hit a single top 10 ranking, neither in the US, nor the UK, nor anywhere else. And now, just as Meghan pivoted toward Amazon hoping for a comeback, that alliance is disintegrating before it can even begin. But the real twist? Insiders claim Jeff Bezos himself is done with the chaos Meghan drags into every room she enters. The Kardashian meltdown, they say, was his breaking point, a tone-deaf circus that unfolded the same weekend the royal family was quietly honoring fallen war heroes. While the Windsors bowed their heads in London, Meghan was at Bezos' $64 million mansion posing beside Kim Kardashian, then shockingly demanding that the photos vanish from social media. The Kardashians don't forget, and they certainly don't forgive. And now Meghan is facing a Hollywood nightmare, Netflix gone, the Kardashians livid, and Amazon preparing to walk away. Before digging deeper into Amazon's meltdown, we need to rewind to Netflix, because what unfolded there explains exactly why Meghan sprinted toward Bezos in the first place, and why the plan is already blowing up in her face. Quietly, methodically, Netflix has been freezing Meghan Markle out of their empire. Remember when her as-ever products were supposedly destined for those glossy Netflix house stores? Fans imagined her jams and overpriced honey displayed next to Stranger Things collectibles. But guess what? Nothing. Not one jar. Not one chic wooden box. And this from the very company that crafted with love, Meghan, the cooking lifestyle series that was supposed to rocket her brand into Hollywood's upper atmosphere. Instead, it nosedived spectacularly. Netflix has buried the viewership data because, truthfully, it's disastrous. Season 2 didn't touch a single top 10 list anywhere on the planet. To put it plainly, even shows branded total flops managed to sneak onto some regional chart, but Meghan's couldn't. Analysts revealed viewership plunged by 4/5 from Season 1's trailer to Season 2's. A staggering collapse. One Netflix insider confessed the return on investment was absolutely appalling. After the initial documentary hype, every Sussex venture crashed, parts of Invictus overlooked, Polo dead before arrival, and now with love, Meghan dumped into the growing cemetery of Sussex misfires. So as Netflix started edging away, Meghan hunted for a lifeline and spotted Jeff Bezos. That close personal friends cameo wasn't random. It was calculated. She could feel Netflix's final curtain dropping and decided to jump before she was shoved. Her strategy: infiltrate Bezos's elite gatherings, charm his inner circle, and pitch herself as Amazon's next golden partner. But Netflix noticed, and they were anything but pleased. To them, her Amazon cameo looked like disloyalty thinly disguised as ambition. Meghan was still under contract with Netflix while slipping into a competitor's project. It was reckless, impulsive, and astonishingly short-sighted. Exactly the kind of misstep that's been torching her Hollywood alliances, one after another. Then came the night that detonated everything. Kris Jenner's 70th birthday celebration, hosted, no less, by Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez at their $164 million Beverly Hills palace. This was supposed to be Meghan's grand reset, her chance to enchant Bezos's network, secure her place among Hollywood's elite, and prove she was still undeniable A-list material. But instead, it unraveled into an unfiltered catastrophe. The party was surreal, a full James Bond-style spectacle featuring Beyoncé, Serena Williams, Paris Hilton, Justin Bieber, practically every power player alive. Harry appeared polished, suited like a secret agent. Meghan shimmered in designer couture, laughing with Kim Kardashian, dancing near Kris. It all looked pristine until it wasn't. Within hours, every photo of Meghan and Harry vanished from Kim and Kris's Instagram feeds. Deleted. Scrubbed clean. The Kardashians uploaded dozens of party highlights, yet not a single hint of the Sussexes. And everyone understood that was intentional. Two narratives emerged. People magazine, Meghan's friendly outlet, insisted she demanded the removal herself, claiming she checked a no-photo box on consent forms. But that excuse fell apart instantly. If she didn't want photos, why parade through the paparazzi entrance? Why pose, glowing, shoulder to shoulder with Kim Kardashian? The pictures were real. We saw them, and Meghan looked ecstatic. The second version, far colder and far more credible. Insiders said the Kardashians erased the Sussexes because they refused to attach themselves to Meghan's escalating reputation as Hollywood's most radioactive name. Imagine that, the Kardashians, rulers of scandal, deciding that being seen with Meghan Markle was bad for their brand. Insiders whispered, "You don't ghost the Kardashians." Another murmured, "Kim doesn't undo a connection. Unless you cross a line you can't come back from." And now Meghan had done exactly that. But the most devastating fallout wasn't between Meghan and the Kardashians. It was between Meghan and Jeff Bezos himself. Because that night, Photogate didn't just embarrass her, it enraged Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. They'd opened their palatial home, handpicked a star-studded guest list, and transformed their mansion into Hollywood's ultimate power stage, only for Meghan to hijack the night with a photo scandal that spiraled out of control. And remember, this event was supposed to build trust between Meghan and Amazon Studios. Instead, it left senior executives deeply embarrassed. And then came the close personal friends fiasco, the bizarre Amazon project that ignited this entire chain reaction. Meghan Markle cast as herself, not a character, not a fictional twist, literally Meghan Markle. The irony was impossible to ignore. The woman who spent years denouncing intrusion and privacy breaches was now stepping onto the screen as herself. But that desperate casting move revealed something darker, how few genuine opportunities remain for her. True stars don't need to play themselves in vanity vehicles. Real actors get real roles. From day one, Amazon insiders were torn. At first, the Royal Association seemed intriguing until the Kardashian implosion and Meghan's non-stop negative press poisoned the atmosphere. Then whispers about her difficult on-set behavior resurfaced and executives began retreating. Even worse, Amazon discovered Meghan agreed to the film while still bound to a Netflix contract. For them, the optics were catastrophic. Netflix had bankrolled her, promoted her, built her platform, and she'd quietly crossed enemy lines to work with their biggest rival. That's not bad etiquette. That's professional suicide. Multiple sources confirmed Netflix executives were blindsided. They felt betrayed, furious, and determined never to bankroll another Sussex endeavor again. Suddenly, it became obvious why Meghan's as-ever products mysteriously vanished from Netflix house shelves. But now comes the million-dollar question. If Netflix dumped her for two-faced dealings, why would Amazon expect better results? Hollywood is a small, vicious ecosystem. Everyone gossips. Everyone knows. And right now, everyone knows Meghan Markle is considered untrustworthy. Rumors swirl that Amazon is already shrinking their promotional plans, hoping close personal friends will dissolve quietly without attracting unwanted attention. Some executives reportedly call her a toxic liability. Others pray the film slips into obscurity so the studio can distance itself the same way Netflix did. One thing is certain, Meghan Markle's Hollywood rescue mission is collapsing, and this time, the damage may be irreversible. Now, let's sift through the wreckage Meghan has created, because the Amazon implosion isn't an isolated disaster. It's just the latest explosion in a long, messy pattern that's followed her since the day she walked out of the palace. And right now, nobody trusts Meghan Markle. Not Netflix, not Spotify, and definitely not the Kardashians. If Amazon steps away too, that's the fatal blow. Because when a powerhouse like Amazon backs off, the rest of Hollywood pays attention. It sends a message louder than any tabloid headline. Meghan Markle isn't worth the gamble. The Kardashian fallout is especially lethal. They aren't just a family, they're a global empire plugged into every brand, agency, platform, and streaming service you can name. Make enemies with them and you're shut out of half the industry overnight. And Meghan managed to accomplish that in a single evening. Insiders say she's earned herself another Hollywood enemy at the worst possible moment. Translation: she's out of chances, out of allies, out of time. Now other studios are watching Amazon's next move. If Bezos, with all his power, money, and influence, can't make Meghan Markle profitable, who possibly could? If close personal friends ends up buried without promotion, that signals every other executive exactly what awaits them. What's most tragic or poetic, depending on how you view it, is that Meghan authored this downfall herself. She had everything. She married into a monarchy. She had global fame, Oprah support, and million-dollar deals from the world's biggest platforms. She had the globe waiting to see what she would do next. And she managed to destroy it spectacularly. Netflix handed her opportunity after opportunity. Harry and Meghan, Heart of Invictus, Polo, With Love, Meghan. They even tried promoting as ever. And in return, she delivered flops, vanity projects, and more chaos. Then profit. Then, while still cashing Netflix's checks, she secretly jumped ship to make a film for their fiercest competitor. That isn't just ungrateful, it's lethal. Now Amazon is learning the same painful lesson Netflix already did. Meghan Markle is turmoil wrapped in designer gowns. She makes promises she can't fulfill, inflates numbers to protect her image, and scorches partnerships everywhere she goes. So the billion-dollar question remains, when every door finally shuts, what becomes of Meghan and Harry? They can't return to the royals. That bridge isn't burned, it's dust. William won't answer. Catherine refuses involvement. King Charles has moved on. There is no reconciliation, no royal safety net waiting. So what comes next? More lawsuits? Another sympathy-soaked interview revealing their truth? Or will they finally fade from the spotlight, slipping into obscurity without ever admitting defeat? Some insiders predict the Sussexes will retreat privately, disappearing quietly when the headlines stop. Others believe Meghan will continue clawing at relevance, chasing smaller, cheaper deals until the world stops watching. A few optimists claim she might someday attempt to crawl back toward the royal fold, though that seems almost unimaginable now. Whatever the future holds, one thing is unmistakable. Meghan Markle is finally facing the consequences of her own decisions. She alienated her allies, sabotaged her partners, and exhausted Hollywood's tolerance. Just like inside the palace walls, she's managed to isolate herself entirely once again. And in the end, Hollywood responds exactly the way the royals once did, with a cold, cutting silence. Because even in a city built on redemption arcs, people eventually grow weary of the chaos. The drama turns suffocating. The goodwill evaporates. The doors slam shut one after another. And here we are now. Netflix gone. Spotify gone. Amazon slipping away. The Kardashians enraged. the Sussex brand imploding. The only question left, the one drifting through every studio meeting and executive call, is brutally simple. Is Meghan Markle truly finished, or does she somehow, against all logic, have one last impossible comeback hidden somewhere? Because if Jeff Bezos pulls the plug, then Meghan Markle's Hollywood fairy tale doesn't just crash, it disappears entirely.